Now that you've kind of gotten a quick overview of how websites work, let's go a little bit in depth and go a little bit slower. I want to make sure that you understand what you're doing when you go to a website because it's going to come back into play when we talk about creating graphics that other people need to see, as well as just creating a website in general. So, the way a website works is I want you to imagine really quickly, let's go past the website and let's just talk about something that would resonate with you. So let's imagine a world without phones. Okay, you don't have a cell phone anymore. Hoo-wee. Okay, so let's just pretend that cell phones don't exist for a moment, which back when I was a kid, cell phones did not exist. I'm not that old, but it is something that I did live without for a little bit. So back in the day, before we had cell phones, when you wanted to copy your friend's homework outside of class, you had to actually go see your friend. Like you couldn't just have them send you a picture and call it good. So let's pretend that you're at home, you can drive, and there's no cell phones, and you want to copy your friend's homework. Okay. So when you want to copy your friend's homework, they have it at their house. They are good to go. They've got it at their house and they're ready for you. You have to then get in your car because you can drive. And what you need to do is, let's say this is a friend you don't know very well, like you're just getting to know them and you've never been to their house before. Okay. So you have to look up their address, get their address, look it up online or maybe in a map. I know, old school. And you had to figure out the route to their house. Okay. So you got their address, you figured out the route, and you then go ahead and head to their house. So now that you know the route, you're driving, you're going to their house. When you get there, you actually ask your friend for their homework. You want their homework physically in your hand. So you're going to take their homework and you're going to take it back to your house and you're going to copy it. And then you'll return it the next day when you get to school. This is how a website works. So when you type in a domain name like behance.com, cnn.com, mcdonalds.com, any of website.com, .net, .gov, .io, anytime you're putting in a domain name to go to that website, you're telling your computer where the other house is, where to go find that file. So you're saying, I want to go see this thing. Here's the address. So you give your computer the address. It then says a signal to the beautiful cloud. The cloud is literally just a bunch of devices connected. So when I send a signal to the cloud to say, I want to go to a website, my signal travels through devices called routers and servers and switches and other computers, and it bounces along until it reaches its destination address of where the website is. So once it goes to the cloud, my signal's bouncing around and saying, I want this website. I want to see it. It then connects to the web server or the computer that is accessible by everybody that is housing the HTML file I want to look at. Because when you type in a domain name, you're actually asking to see a copy of an HTML file or a copy of a picture or a copy of a file or a video. You're looking for copies of those to view them on your device, whether it's your phone or your computer or your smart TV, whatever it is, you're looking to view a copy of a file. Most websites are made of HTML files, so we're usually looking to look for a copy of that HTML file. The web server has this file on it. We've sent a signal saying, I want to see the file. So with the file there, it says, okay, here's the file, take a copy of it. It puts it back in the cloud. It travels through all of those devices that file does, all the digits of that file, and then it gets displayed on my computer. This is how a website works. A website works by sending a signal to a specific address of a web server saying, I want to look at this file. It grabs a copy of the file and brings it back to you. This is what a website is made up of. And when it reaches your device, it then is read by your web browser. So let's take a second to talk about what a web browser is, okay? Web browsers are what we go to view the internet. So what app on your phone do you open to view the internet? For me, I have an iPhone, so I open up Safari. I have Google Chrome installed on my phone, but I always use Safari. I don't know why. Okay. On my computer, I use the app Google Chrome to view the web. You may use something else like Firefox or Opera or Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge. There's also other ones, but these are probably your most popular. What's important to know is that these are apps, they're programs. These programs know how to take your address of your URL, go locate the file on the web, find the web server that has it, bring that file back to you, and then it will read the code of HTML and CSS and all the other coding languages, and it will display it on your screen. And what's crazy about all of this is all of this happens in literally less than a second. All of it. And that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a really cool thing. But what I want to point out is that what we're doing is we're creating this file up here. We're creating the HTML code, and then that's going to be put on a web server. Now, do you have a web server? No. But in the long run, we're going to put it on a web server online, and someone else is going to provide to us, and we're then going to be allowed to display it on any device by people taking copies of our HTML code and CSS code and displaying it. And that is how a website actually works.